The New York State Museum's role in preserving the history of September 11th began immediately after the attacks under the leadership of Mark Shaming. That history has been preserved in the artifacts that we see in this hall today. Now, additional artifacts will be sent to exhibitions all across the state. New York Remembers is an unprecedented effort, and I thank our partners in this project for making it possible. I'd like to introduce Joe Daniels, CEO and President of the National 9/11 Memorial and Museum.
Thank you, Commissioner. I want to express my appreciation to the New York State Museum for all of its help in making New York Remembers a reality. And I also want to take a moment to thank Governor Cuomo for helping to make the history of 9/11 accessible to New Yorkers all around the state, so many of whom were affected by 9/11. It really is a reminder that when people have the opportunity to give back and make sure that this history is never forgotten, they do the right thing, and it's a heartfelt gesture that the governor has done, and I wanted to thank him for that. As was said, my name is Joe Daniels. I'm President and CEO of the National 9/11 Memorial and Museum. We are very proud to team up with the State Museum and the Governor to create 30 9/11 exhibits across New York. The items that you see around me will be part of those exhibits. And I know people will appreciate the unparalleled opportunity to feel that connection and be involved on this year's incredibly important 10-year anniversary. The mission of the 9/11 Memorial and Museum fundamentally is twofold: to honor the innocent people killed in the terrorist attacks of 2001 and February 26, 1993, and to preserve the history and to educate about 9/11. The 10th anniversary of September 11, 2001 will bring people together from New York City, New York State, across the country, and around the world to honor the fallen, to remember the sacrifice, and most importantly, perhaps, to reunite. These exhibits will be vital in helping people pay their respects to all those that we lost that day. All of these objects have a story to tell from that horrible day, and each location will make sure those stories are heard and that those stories are never forgotten. Once again, the National 9/11 Memorial and Museum is proud to be part of this important program, and I want to thank the State Museum, Governor Cuomo, and everyone else involved in organizing New York Remembers. It is now my pleasure to introduce a board member of the National 9/11 Memorial Museum, a family member who lost his daughter, Tom Roger.
Thank you very much, Joe, and good afternoon, everyone. I would first like to express my thanks to Joe Daniels as a board member of the National 9/11 Memorial Museum. I can tell all of you that Joe has been a terrific leader of that organization, and the impossible challenges that the memorial has had to overcome over the last 8 years, he's done a terrific job in that leadership. So, Joe, thank you very much. Also like to recognize Lehigh Elpy, who has been a wonderful compatriot, fellow family member, lost his son, Jonathan. He's done a wonderful job in representing the families and running the Tribute Center. And Lee, on behalf of my family and other families, I want to thank you. So good afternoon again, and thank you, Governor, very much for inviting me here to speak. My name is Tom Roger, and I live and work in Rochester, New York. I've been there for over a year, and I actually have the pleasure, kind of an educational mission. I'm working to rebuild the schools of Rochester, so Dr. King, hope to be talking with you about that over the years. As Joe mentioned, on September 11th, my family suffered a terrible tragedy. My daughter, Jean, was a 24-year-old flight attendant. I worked for American Airlines, and she was actually filling in for a coworker and had the misfortune of being assigned to fly on Flight 11. We all know what happened. Jean was a wonderful girl, had her full life ahead of her, and like all of those who died that day, they were going to work. They weren't going to war. And we all have suffered the tragedy of that event over the last 10 years. She enjoyed traveling, she enjoyed meeting people, and being a flight attendant to her was a wonderful thing, to see the world. So 10 years later, Governor, in the State Museum, again, I'd like to thank Mark Shaming and other members of the State Museum. What you've done is created a wonderful legacy that's going to be able to be observed and appreciated by many of those throughout the state. I know the difficulty people have even coming here and seeing this exhibit, but certainly getting to New York to see the Tribute Center and also to see the museum when it opens up. You know, it's been a long few years to get that project where it is, and it'll be another year before it's even open. So to be able to have this exhibition, New York Remembers, is a very meaningful thing, certainly to my family, to the other hundreds, thousands of families, members that are throughout the state and many parts of the state, is a very wonderful thing. So that, again, the museum, these exhibits, it's not just about the names of the people, it's about the event, it's about who was lost, who came to help. You know, many of first responders, I see you out there, and I just want to personally thank you for all you do for us every day. And so it's about being able to recognize that on a day-to-day basis and never forget. September 11th has been said is a day where we saw the worst of mankind and the best of mankind all on the same day. So we need to remember that. We need to make sure people understand what happened that day, the young children 50 years from now, and all of our ancestors, is such that it doesn't happen again. So once again, Governor Cuomo, thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our governor, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you very much. First, Tom Rozier, thank you very much for being with us today. This is a difficult time for you and your family, I'm sure, and we wish you strength and we wish you peace over these coming difficult weeks. Dr. King, thank you very much, and thank the great staff here at the museum who have been extraordinary in their efforts. And Mark Shamming, who leads the team, has done a great job, and it's a pleasure to work with them. So, Dr. King, thank you very much for that. Joe Daniels, thank you. The memorial is doing magnificent work all across the nation, all across the globe. And we thank you for being here today and for all the good work you're doing with this. Lee Ielpi, it's a pleasure to be with you, sir, and we wish you also strength and peace through these next difficult days and weeks. The 9/11 anniversary is going to be a powerful moment, and it should be a powerful moment. The expression used here today, New York Remembers, really says it all. It's going to be a period of time to remember and honor those who we have lost, to remember and honor the first responders who showed amazing bravery and selflessness. When you think of the strength it took, the courage it took to show up at a burning building where every instinct says, save yourself, protect yourself, and to run into it, to help fellow human beings, the courage and the strength, and we'll remember that and we will honor that. We'll remember the day the world changed for all of us, and we were awakened to the fear and the danger that terrorism poses. And we live with it to this day, and we probably will live with it to the end of our days. It's also going to be a moment to educate a new generation, and we were chatting about this earlier. 10 years is a long period of time. There is a generation of young people who weren't around or weren't understanding when 9/11 occurred. And it is a time to educate them because they have to remember, they have to learn, they have to understand. I feel it at home. I have a 13-year-old, she was 3 years old. 2 16-year-olds, they were 6 years old. They were too young to comprehend. I want them to understand. I want them to understand the duality, as Tom said so eloquently, the cowardice and the bravery that we saw at the same moment on the same screen, and to understand those lessons. So that's what the 9/11 anniversary is all about. The entire state wants to be part of it. Now, obviously, the main site of the occasion is going to be in New York City, but this is a statewide anniversary. It's a nationwide anniversary, a worldwide anniversary, and the entire state wants to participate. And that's why this effort, I think, is going to be so constructive. 30 exhibits all across the state. And the list of cities is to my left. So people who want to participate can participate. And I would encourage them to do it. Be part of this day. Be part of this occasion. Be part of this moment. Painful as it may be, instructive for others, respectful for all. Be part of this moment. And it will be relatively convenient from a geographic point of view. The exhibit is going to be powerful. I'm sitting here today and looking at some of these pieces. Really bring you right back to that moment. So I encourage all New Yorkers to come out and be part of it. The exhibits are well done. They're instructive. And I think they'll provoke a lot of feelings and a lot of thoughts. The exact time and locations will be posted on our website when we get a little closer, but we have the cities that are going to be participating. I once again want to applaud all of the people who made this possible. A lot of work went into this, and it was difficult work. The memorial, the museum, Rich Bamberger from my office, they've been working on this for months, and they've done an extraordinary job, and they deserve our thanks. Thank you all for being part of it today. Thank you.